With the Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Commanders this week, so many things are coming out of the woodworks that I didn't even know existed. And it has nothing to do with the matchup this weekend. I saw something on Twitter, and it was from a Commanders content creator. He does pretty good work. He had a guest on, an NFL insider, but really a Commanders insider that joined his show and reflected back on when Ben Johnson interviewed for the job. Now, let me give a quick refresh. For those who don't remember, Ben Johnson interviewed for the Commanders job last year. Adam Peters, the Commanders GM, Ben Johnson was his number one option. That was the guy that the Commanders wanted. They interviewed him one time. They liked him so much, they wanted to interview him again, so much so that they were willing to fly to Detroit. Now, for those who remember, on their way to Detroit, Ben Johnson texted and said, yeah, I just want to stay here. Whether he knew they were on the flight or not, it's the past. It happened. But now you're starting to see all these things come out like, maybe the Commanders were turned off by Ben Johnson. Maybe Ben Johnson failed the interview. Maybe he was unimpressive. Let's look at this thing objectively. They liked him so much they were willing to fly to Detroit. And they were going to interview Aaron Glenn. I understand that. But it's like any guy out there trying to go flirt with a girl, and the minute the girl turns them down, now all of a sudden she's ugly, wasn't my type anyway. Like, let's relax here, okay? It's called coping. That's what this sounds like to me. I'm going to play the clip, and I'm going to react to it. But here's the clip here. It's from Rambling with Rio Robinson. Shout out to him, by the way. But let's play the clip.
If it's been talked about publicly, but the story that I got, what happened was they were en route. Adam Peters and them were en route to Detroit for the interview. Mm-hmm. In conversation with Ben Johnson, it was brought up that Ben Johnson still wanted Sam Howell. That's who he wanted to be his quarterback for his offense. And, there's Carolina connections, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And Adam Peters was like, no, because they know who they're going to draft. And we all knew who they were going to draft. And he didn't want him. So if anybody should be upset, it should be Jaden. So what I'm saying is, and kudos to Adam Peters for holding his guns and saying, no, we know who we're drafting. And that's who you're going to have to build with. And that's the story that I got. So
Johnson wanted to roll with Sam Howell.
Yeah, it was Adam Peters that said, turn that plane around. yeah, man. Yeah, it was Adam Peters said, no. So we agree to disagree, and I wish you well. Turn this thing around. So, yeah. So.
Okay, and it goes back to the example I brought up, right? Hot girl, you try and talk to her. Oh, you get denied. Well, she wasn't. Yeah, wasn't my type. Actually, she smelled too. All these excuses you start bringing up to try and cope. It's human nature. Adam Peters did not turn that plane around. Ben Johnson told him, I'm good. I'm staying in Detroit. That's what happened. Now, the whole Sam Howell thing, I don't know. I don't know what sources he has. I'm assuming he has pretty good sources. I don't think it was I don't want Jaden Daniels discussion. It was probably, we're going to roll with Sam Howell. Or what about Drake May? He went to North Carolina. Could that be an option? Like, this is certainly out of context. And this is what happens when, things don't work out and there's a fallout. Obviously, the Commanders, Adam Peters, they're upset that Ben Johnson was like, hey, I'm staying here while they're on their way to Detroit. Like, that's frustrating. I understand that. But this is what happens afterwards. These leaks. Like, who's telling whoever this individual is, no disrespect to him, who's telling him this information? That's the key. And why are they telling him this information? It's pointless. Oh, because you want to cover your ass and you want to make sure you make it very clear. Oh, yeah, he wanted Sam Howell. There's all these other things. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a huge fan. Dan Quinn was our guy. Dan Quinn's a great coach, but let's not act like Ben Johnson wasn't the number one priority with the Washington Commanders. I thought this was just crazy. I do. And as for Ben Johnson, he's been around Jared Goff for a while now. He knows high-level quarterback play. I don't know how true it is that he said, yeah, I want my franchise quarterback to be Sam Howell. I don't know. But again, thought it was interesting. Saw this floating around, and I had to speak on it. Now, comment down below. I would love especially this video. I would love your guys' thoughts on it. Please comment. What do you make of the Ben Johnson wanting Sam Howell, or really the coping? It seems like it's happening with the Commanders about this Ben Johnson thing. I think they're over it, but just reports like this, it's like, guys, you got Dan Quinn. Move on. You guys are fine. Okay, Ben Johnson's going to be an excellent head coach somewhere else, and I promise you he will be picking the correct quarterback. So comment down below. We'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Appreciate all you for the support, as always. And get your merchandise, officialctsports.com. I'll see you tonight. Until then, peace. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.